Hi everyone, Saturday morning here. First I want to start off with a big thank you. We've been receiving constant support, whether it's through posting of comments or emails or during pickups of all the support from our membership, guys. It's been about a month. For some of you, it feels like a longer month than others, but we're all in this together. We appreciate all the efforts in the comments that you guys have given us, so we just want to start off by saying thank you for, again, all the support. Your support is keeping us going, making these videos, coming up with ideas, and just working through these days that we are putting in here, guys. So thank you again for everything, okay? Starting off with now announcements. Big one, we're working towards our virtual class next Friday. We're excited about this one, so we need more feedback as we get closer to the day and afterwards, guys. But look for more details about the virtual class that is coming next week, okay? More details will be coming about that. Next thing, cubby holes. Yash mentioned yesterday about cubby holes. If you need to pick up anything, email me. We'll set up a time where you can come by and pick up your items, okay? And last thing, don't forget, a couple more days here to get all that swag, get your gear ready for your costumes, get those videos, get those pictures in there, so we can give the prize away to somebody. I'm gonna pass it over to Chris for the workout now.
Okay guys, so today we have a fun CrossFit classic workout here. We're doing Angie. We called it at Home Angie because you guys are at home. And we're also giving you guys a scaling option for those pull-ups today. So, Angie is 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, then 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. If you guys are at home, you can go for some bent over rows. So you can use a dumbbell, kettlebell. We'll show you guys some progressions for that in today's demo. The other scaling option, if you're kind of looking at this board and saying, wow, that's going to take me a very long time to do 100 of things, you can actually break it into 5 rounds of 20. So if you go 20 pull-ups, 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, 20 squats, if you do that 5 times, it'll be much easier to get through all of those reps than if you were to just go 100 at a time. Most of you guys are gonna get slowed down quite a lot at those push-ups. So as you're going through those 100 push-ups, you kind of hit that wall relatively quickly. So those might take you more time than all the other stuff is going to take you. The pull-ups as well could slow down, especially if you're doing pull-ups as prescribed. So if it takes you a little bit longer to get through those first 2 movements, the next 2 should be moving at a little bit of a quicker pace. Most people will get through the squats a little bit quicker than even the sit-ups. So as you guys go through the movements, your intensity should end up going a little bit faster as you go because the last 2 movements you can break up less than the first 2. General time, sometimes people ask time on this one. If you're shooting for under 20 minutes, that's probably a good goal. Elite times will be under 15 minutes. But for the average person, if you're shooting for around 20 minutes, that should do the trick. We'll pass it to Eddie for the afterburner.
The afterburner, just we'll get more into the details, but working on some handstand progressions on how to spot each other if you have a partner at home and which progressions might be more suitable for you. We'll see you guys next for the warm-up. Okay, get those PVC pipes out. We're going to use them for the warm-up here. Coach Jess has the PVC pipe ready to go. She's going to start off first with that lat twist. So it's really to kind of stretch out your lat, start getting your body moving. So you want to twist side, get a little stretch, pause there for a second or 2, go to the next side, again, feeling the stretch along your lat. You're going to complete 10 of those on both sides. Get little pause, 1 second or 2, just to stretch out. From there, then you're going to get the PVC pipe onto your back. You're going to go into your side twist, which is side crunch. Okay, so you're going to drop down to the side without pushing your hip forward too much, trying to activate your obliques, okay, as you do that, okay? So you're going to be doing 20 of those total before you get into your twist. So the trunk twist, you're just rotating, kind of like a Russian twist, but you're rotating through your belly button. Do not let your knees move too too much, they are gonna turn a bit, but don't let them buckle like Jess's are. Try to avoid that, try to mute the hips a little bit so you get the most twist out of your spine. Okay, you're doing 20 of those in total, so 10 per side. When you're done that, you're going for 20 seconds 2 times for your lat activation, where you have your bar in your snatch grip. From there, you push it in. You're using your upper back muscles without bending the elbows, without letting the shoulders shrug forward or upwards. You're gonna hold it for 20 seconds. Little pause, then repeat that again for 20 seconds. If you want to go unbroken for 40 seconds, that works too. Okay, once you've done that PVC warm up, now you're getting ready for your muscle activation. So we'll put that PVC pipe down if you like. If you want to use an object that has some weight, that's fine. Or you use your PVC pipe for your bent over row. So you get Jess in the bent over row position. Notice how she's rolling the bar up towards that sternum. That works. If you want to go a little bit lower, depending how low you're dropping your chest, you can bring it down towards your belly button as well. Find a position that activates your back the most. After you've done 5, then you're gonna go to the floor for hands release push-ups. So take a slow descend down. So take 3 to 5 seconds to make your way down. When you're down there, hands off the ground, reactivate your upper back muscles before you drive up. And I'll get Coach Jessica to do that one more time. Notice in the slow movement, her elbows are not wandering. Her body's going down nice and flat. She keeps everything tight, presses up without worming her way up. You're gonna do 5 of those push-ups. Then you're on to your backside for your Pike Situps. So feet together, you're gonna come up into your sit-up, reach for those toes, stretch those hamstrings a little bit. You're gonna go for 10 of those Pike Situps. Again, try to keep your legs tight by pointing your toes so you can stretch the hamstrings as well. Then you're gonna start wrapping up your round with some bootstraps for 5, feeling the hamstrings, drop down, kind of wiggle around if you like, guys. Then you're right back up, just going up and down with your hips for 5 repetitions, finishing off with your squat by going for 5 air squats. You're gonna complete all these movements 3 times for today's warm up. We'll see you guys next in the workout segment.
Okay, welcome everybody to the vlog here. So we're gonna start off with your bent over rows. One thing we didn't mention on the whiteboard is what kind of rep scheme we're looking for. Those are curls, not rows. It's just programmed in Yash's head to just start curling when he has a chance. So for the rows, we want you guys to pick a weight where you're doing about 10 to 15 reps when you're fresh, and then as you start getting tired, those reps should start to go down a little bit. So we're going to use our paint cans for today for the bent over rows, so 1 in each hand. We're just going to fold forward, slight bend in the knees, and again, drawing that elbow up nice and tall, keeping those elbows pulled in towards each other, and you're really focusing on squeezing those shoulder blades for at least a quick second, not even a full second, but just so you can really feel that tension before you bring your objects back down. So you can also maybe show them one paint can. So if you only have one object, guys, like a backpack, fill it with a bunch of weight. Your hands are going to be narrower instead of out to the sides, but it's the same concept. You're pulling in until the hands touch that right below the chest into that sternum. Again, trying to not let those elbows flare out. So after you're done 100 of those, you're going to get into your push-ups. For the push-ups, we're going to show you 3 progressions. First progression is just a regular push-up. So you're going to be on your hands, planting the toes down, nice and tension through that core, so you can see that low back is nice and flat, all the way down to the ground, so you can see Yash's chest and thighs touch the floor at the bottom. The elbows are staying tucked in nice and tight to the body. And again, when he gets back up to the top of that push-up, he's going to make sure that rib cage is still tucked in. So show an overarch back, Yash. So we don't want to let that back overarch so your hips touch and then your chest touches. You want to try when you get to the top to readjust, making sure that core is tight. If those are getting too challenging, or if they're too challenging for you to go from the toes, you can lower down from your toes until you're all the way down, and then you can push up from the knees. So he's pushing up, and then he goes back to off the toes, starting on the knees. Final progression, you can just stay on your knees the whole time here, guys. So keeping that push-up going, keeping keeping those knees planted flat the whole time. But make sure we are getting full depth here, guys. So if your chest isn't touching, make sure you correct that going all the way down to the ground. Next movement is the sit-ups here. So we're gonna demonstrate with an ab mat here. If you don't have an ab mat at home, just roll up a towel and put that towel into the lower back. So Yash is gonna go all the way down in that sit-up. You can see his shoulders are touching the ground here, and then he's gonna come all the way up, touching his shoes at the top of that sit-up. All the way back down again. Notice how he's using his arms for momentum. That is okay. It'll make your push-ups feel a little bit, or your sit-ups, sorry, feel a little bit easier, but you're using momentum to get that going. Final movement today, guys, is the squat. So in that squat, just remember the basics here, guys. Back and chest up, nice and tall. You're gonna have your knees tracking slightly outside the width of your feet. So we don't want our knees coming in towards each other. We want the knees pushed away from each other. Back and chest stays nice and tall, and most of the weight is gonna stay in our heels here. Fun workout today, guys. It is a staple. Make sure you record this one in your journals. We will be doing it again at some point this year.
Hopefully you still got a little bit of juice in you for some handstand work. 10 minutes of work today. A good way to spend the 10 minutes is like an EMOM. Every minute on the minute, see what you can do. Doesn't mean you have to work for it for the full minute, but say you do a hold. We're gonna start off with the wall hold today. Maybe it's a 20, 30-second hold. The wall facing hold really builds confidence in your upper body. It teaches you how to be aware of your body line when you're upside down. Now notice how Yash climbed up here, locked up his legs afterwards once he got up there. He's activated his core, so his thighs are actually off the wall. Heels are together to create nice, tight, strong legs. He's pushing through the floor. If you're not comfortable there, you don't have to go as high, but if you are comfortable here, maybe a spotter, they can help you by encouraging you to look at your hands. As soon as you start looking at your hands, you can then start pulling, squeezing your butt, pulling your heels off the wall, or you can grab their shins, pull them off the wall. If you feel it wobbling, you'll have to tighten up whether it's legs, upper body, or core. Most of us will be in the core, okay? But if they overshoot it, you can also catch them. Okay, so this is a good partner progression where you can start looking at your hands to allow you to start shifting some weight forward to help you get into that inverted or that handstand hold going into that freestanding. Now, some of you guys we've noticed aren't comfortable kicking into a handstand. So if you're comfortable first with the wall facing handstand, that's progression number one. Maybe it's not all the way upright, but you're working your way up there. Once you're upright, okay, your next progression is kicking into a wall. So if you have a spotter, a partner at home, you want to spot on the leg that they kicked up with. So Yash is going to kick with his right leg, so I'm on his right side. I'm going to support his thigh. I'm also going to have one hand on his shoulder, okay? So I'll talk about that in a second. So here, I'm getting ready to support. He's going to plant his hands on the floor, kick into it. If you're not ready for that, what you can start is by planting your hands first on the ground, then just kicking halfway, so a donkey kick. Try to get that feeling of what it feels like to go upside down. A lot of you might not feel comfortable there, but as a spotter, I can spot. So I'll get Yash to kick up. I will catch him, hold him, okay, then bring him to the wall so he feels what it feels like to be in that upright position. Now, if he's kicking all the way up into it, you want to watch out that body from being arched. So that's where I have my hand on his shoulder. So when he kicks up, I'm going to do one more. One hand goes on his shoulder to help him not bend his elbows. Also, if he loses his balance, I can support his thigh and I can support his shoulder here to allow him to really concentrate or fix that midline if it's lost while he kicks up. So it's good spotting techniques. Have one hand on the shoulder, one on the thigh, on the side that he's kicking up to give the most strength and support there, guys. Have fun with the work here at home in your handstand, and hopefully when we're back in here, we see a lot of you are able to do your handstand. Okay, see you tomorrow.